Ancient thinkers like Aristotle emphasized systematic observation for understanding the physical world. But it wasn't until the Renaissance period that observation was paired with rigorous experimentation to set the stage for the scientific revolution and the development of what we now call empiricism. René Descartes emphasized doubt, deduction, and logical reasoning in Discourse on the Method. In Principia Mathematica, Isaac Newton showed how mathematical reasoning was integral to understanding the physical world. In Novum Organum, Francis Bacon advocated for inductive reasoning, involving moving from specific observations to general principles and broader theories. Novum Organum, which translates to new instrument, was a deliberate reference to Aristotle's Organon, a collection of works on logic that had dominated medieval thought. Bacon sought to replace the Aristotelian deductive approach with an inductive method, involving bottom-up reasoning, where specific premises lead to general theories, rather than the other way around. Bacon did not dismiss deductive reasoning, but saw it as secondary to induction. He criticized what he saw as the misuse of deduction when it was based on untested or speculative premises. In his view, deduction could be useful once reliable, evidence-based generalizations were established through induction. Also central to Novum Organum was what Bacon referred to as the idols of the mind, which he saw as biases, or errors in reasoning and perception, that prevent humans from understanding the world accurately. These biases included the idols of the tribe, the idols of the cave, the idols of the marketplace, and last, the idols of the theater. The idols of the tribe are biases inherent to human nature, shared by all people as members of the human species. Humans are predisposed to errors in understanding the natural world due to emotional, perceptual, or cognitive tendencies that prioritize simplicity, patterns, over objective observation. Confirmation bias, for example, is the human inclination to confirm what we already believe, giving more weight to evidence that supports our own beliefs while ignoring evidence that contradicts them. In Bacon's own words, the idols of the tribe have their foundation in human nature itself and in the tribe or race of men. Or it is a false assertion that the sense of man is the measure of things. On the contrary, all perceptions as well of the sense as of the mind are according to the measure of the individual and not according to the measure of the universe. And the human understanding is like a false mirror, which, receiving rays irregularly, distorts and discolors the nature of things by mingling its own nature with it. The idols of the cave are biases specific to the individual. People tend to see the world through their own personal, subjective lens or metaphorical cave, shaped by their upbringing, culture, and life experiences. Many people, for example, believe the practices and customs of their own culture are inherently superior to those of others. Without conscious effort to step outside one's own cave, one's view of the world remains skewed by this bias. As Bacon put it, the idols of the cave are the idols of the individual man. For everyone, besides the errors common to human nature in general, has a cave or den of his own, which refracts and discolors the light of nature, owing either to his own proper and peculiar nature, or to his education and conversation with others, or to the reading of books and the authority of those whom he esteems and admires, or to the differences of impressions, accordingly as they take place in a mind preoccupied and predisposed, or in a mind indifferent and settled, or the like. The idols of the marketplace are biases arising from language and communication which lead to confusion, ambiguity, and misunderstanding. The use of emotionally charged words, for example, sways opinions and steer thoughts away from rational debate, putting an emphasis on rhetoric. This stirs up emotions that interfere with the pursuit of the truth. In Bacon's words, there are also idols formed by the intercourse and association of men with each other, which I call idols of the marketplace, on account of the commerce and consort of men there. For it is by discourse that men associate, and words are imposed according to the apprehension of the vulgar. And therefore, the ill and unfit choice of words wonderfully obstructs the understanding. Nor do the definitions or explanations wherewith in some things learned men are wont to guard and defend themselves, by any means set the matter right. But words plainly force and overrule the understanding, and throw all into confusion, and lead men away into numberless empty controversies and idle fancies. The idols of the theater are biases rooted in adherence to dogmatic belief systems, philosophical schools, or traditions that are accepted without question. They represent false plays that dominate human thinking. The theater refers to the stage systems of thought and philosophy that dominate culture and society. As Bacon put it, there are idols which have immigrated into men's minds from the various dogmas of philosophies and also from wrong laws of demonstration. These I call idols of the theater, because in my judgment all the received systems are but so many stage plays, representing worlds of their own creation after an unreal and scenic fashion. Nor is it only of the systems now in vogue, or only of the ancient sects and philosophies, that I speak, for many more plays of the same kind may yet be composed and in like artificial manner set forth, seeing that errors the most widely different have nevertheless causes for the most part alike. Neither again do I mean this only of entire systems, but also of many principles and axioms in science, which by tradition, credulity, and negligence have come to be received. The order of the Baconian idols is significant, as it reflects a process in which, without conscious intervention, humans tend to project their inherent biases outward and eventually into the institutional systems they live in and interact with. The idols of the tribe demonstrate an innate tendency in all humans to allow their perceptions to be influenced by selfishness, comfort, or self-preservation. This establishes a foundational premise for the rest of the discussion. The idols of the cave builds on the universality of the tribe, adding an additional layer of idols unique to the individual, as we all have our own caves of subjective perception. Next, the idols of the marketplace highlight how errors can multiply when individuals communicate and share their flawed perceptions, moving from the individual into the collective realm. And last, the idols of the theater represent the most entrenched and systematic errors, as they stem from institutions, traditions, and dogmatic systems that perpetuate falsehoods across generations. This order also aligns with Bacon's broader philosophical inductive method of moving from specific observations to general principles and broader theories. This sequence underscores his empirical philosophy, emphasizing that the pursuit of knowledge and more objective scientific inquiry must begin with the acknowledgement and correction of fundamental human errors before addressing those amplified by language, society, and institutions. Of course, such acknowledgement and correction is an uphill battle when the relatively few who control information actually want to amplify such errors, who play on the idols of the mind to make citizenry distracted, divided, and fearful, thus preparing them to receive orders ever anew.